From Arkansas's streaming leader, this is THV 11 News at 6.
Well, hello, and thanks for joining us here on THV 11 News at 6. I'm Jurnee Taylor here with meteorologist Simone Thomas. Simone, a beautiful Saturday, and I would love to hyper-focus on that. But we have some big news to talk about also coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, we got a weather impact alert in effect for Wednesday, March 4th. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about that in your 7-day outlook. Here's what you need to know for the rest of the evening. Cloud cover increasing. We had a lot of sunshine today, but the cloud cover is increasing through the evening. Some stray showers may be possible at times as a weak cold front moves through the state. So we'll see some stray showers tomorrow and again on Monday, but the real rain chance is picking up for the second half of the week. You see with the greatest chance of rain on Wednesday. We're seeing some areas indicating some potential for severe weather and some flash flooding. That's why we've issued the weather impact alert. So again, Wednesday, March 4th, we're giving you a heads up a number of days in advance to make sure you have a plan ready. Make sure you have THV 11 Plus downloaded if you don't already, because we always do those streams that go to the app, not just during the severe weather, but before the severe weather. I'll actually have a stream at 2:30 tomorrow where we'll get to talk a little bit more in depth than we do in the newscast. So I hope to see you then. In the meantime, stick around for your 7-day outlook.
All right, Simone, thank you. Well, the U.S. and Israel launched a major military campaign against Iran this morning aimed at wiping out Iran's nuclear program. Now, the response to the attack has been mixed, with many U.S. lawmakers concerned that the airstrikes did not receive congressional approval. CBS News' Willie James Inman has more.
The airstrikes on Iran launched by the U.S. and Israel began Saturday morning. The Israeli military shared these images, what they say show some of the strikes. The airstrikes come after weeks of escalating tensions between Iran and the U.S., with President Trump repeatedly warning Iran to put an end to its nuclear program.
We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated.
Israeli officials say among those killed in the airstrikes is Iran's supreme leader, though Iran has so far denied this. Iran was swift to retaliate, launching missiles against U.S. allies in the region, including Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. President Trump warned there could be U.S. casualties as Iran targets U.S. military forces in the region.
And I do not make this statement lightly. The Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war.
While a group of leading U.S. lawmakers known as the Gang of Eight was notified by Secretary of State Marco Rubio of the attack, many Democratic lawmakers are upset the attacks were launched without congressional approval. In the U.S., New Yorkers expressed unease over the news of the airstrikes.
I'm instinctively worried whenever, the United States, our country starts bombing people, but sometimes it works fine and sometimes it doesn't.
I'm horrified. There's no grounds for it. It's totally unclear why Trump is undertaking something so catastrophic.
The New York Police Department says it is boosting security around sensitive sites, including religious and diplomatic institutions. Willie James Inman, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
Senator Tom Cotton reacted to the news on social media in support of the action, while also praying for protection of our troops. He also was not the only one responding to the cause, and several Arkansas politicians have made statements as well. We have them in full on our website at this time. Now, this all comes just a day after Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's visit to Arkansas as part of his Arsenal of Freedom tour. Senator Cotton and other state leaders like Congressman Bruce Westerman and Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders joined him at the L3 Harris facility in East Camden, where thousands of solid rocket motors are produced every year. With the election just days away, voters across the state are deciding if there's a new sheriff in town, and there are high-profile elections for county sheriffs all over the map this year, including in Saline County, where 4 candidates are running to replace incumbent Sheriff Rodney Wright. A key issue in the county, how to address dog attacks like the one that claimed Michaela Fortner's life last summer. The Quorum Court is working on new ordinances to tackle it, but we also asked each of the candidates what will be their approach.
I want to do education for animal owners, but I also want to make sure that we enforce the law so we can avoid another animal attack. And unfortunately, there's been several of them this year.
I want to sit down and talk to the court, the county judge, and I really don't think that we're going to be able to afford an animal control. But I'm going to get some inside sights on from different counties.
I've been a part of those conversations, and it's going to, upon completion, I think it's going to give us some enforcement power to deal with negligent animal owners. It's not just a dog problem, it's a owner problem.
Well, the fourth candidate, Rodney Goshen, declined an on-camera interview. You can read more from each candidate at THV11.com. Well, early voting has wrapped up for today, making Monday the last day to do so. For more information on where to vote, that can also be found on our website. Primary election day is Tuesday, March 3rd. All registered voters are able to participate from 7:30 in the morning to 7:30 at night. And remember, as long as you're in line by 7:30 p.m., you'll be able to vote. Friday will mark 67 years since a fire took the lives of 21 young boys just south of Little Rock. THV11's Carter Threet shows us how generations are coming together to remember the tragedy.
Members of Little Rock's Church of the Living God meeting at a local cemetery Saturday to remember one of the state's great tragedies. On this site is the mass grave, where 14 of the 21 dead were buried after a fire at a corrections facility for young black males in 1959.
These were young people. These were young men on the cusp, at the very beginning of their lives, and certainly we would not want to repeat this.
That's why Pastor Rodney Hines came and why many of the church members drove down to Wrightsville soon after. Former Central High teachers Helen Lanier Strickland and Agnolia B. Gay helped plan the next part of the program. Lanier Strickland says,
"This is about the Wrightsville 21 who were in the Negro Boys Industrial School."
Both Gay and Lanier Strickland are former drama teachers and were well equipped to put together Saturday's program, a play honoring the memory of those 21 boys. But where to find the cast?
Gay, with her bright mind, she came up with the idea to go talk to Central High's football coach. His name is Anthony Robinson, and he allowed us to use his young men because he wants them to get exposure like this.
So that's how you get this, a gymnasium in Wrightsville full of people watching a play put on by young men with little acting experience and their coach.
Oftentimes, our black young men get seen and get shown in a negative light. And I think this is a great way for them to come outside their comfort zone.
The play opened with the boys reading the names of the 21 dead, then reenacting that tragic scene, then reading more of the young men's stories.
The judge said no adult prison for us, just boys' school.
Ensuring that a new generation will never forget.
They are some of the most kind and respectful young men I have worked with. And they have grabbed a hold of this story and taking it to heart.
In Wrightsville, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
All right, Carter, thank you. Well, all of those killed in the fire ranged in age from 13 to 17. The governor at the time blamed state leaders as well as the school superintendent and board of directors, but no cause for the fire was ever determined and nobody ever faced criminal charges.
Early start for the half marathon and marathon during Little Rock Marathon Race Weekend are kicking off at 5 o'clock tomorrow. As you get ready to start the race, temperatures are a little bit milder than how we started this morning, and we've got more clouds tomorrow to deal with. Your full 7-day outlook is coming up right after the break.